गुरुभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
So last time in the study circle, we were discussing about the meaning of bada, badita. That means supplation or falsification. What is the meaning of badita? So for the gnani who has taken standpoint in the witnessing principle, for him the world, he will do the vyavahara of the world as usual, just like the common man, but he will not get tainted to it. That is because, so he, as per him, the world, whatever he sees, is just an appearance. Those which appears means ultimately that it is not there. For the one which is not there, there is no question of getting attached to it. That is because there is no dvaita bhava, there is no duality at all. That's why yatra tu tasya sarvam atmaiva bhut tat kenakam pashyet kenakam shunyat kenakam vijanyat. So when everything has become atman alone, when I say the word become, that is even though it is a kriya pada, there is no kriya, there is no the functionality of becoming. So because the using the word is inevitable, for that reason Shruti has mentioned that yattatu sarva atmaiva bhut, when everything become one, it will not become one, but instead it is the one who realizes that everything is nothing apart from the self, that sakshi alone. So there is no question of thinking, listening. So that's why Bhagavan also will tell that Pashyan Shunvan Sprishan Jigran National Gachan Shwapan Sprishan Pralapan Visajan Garnan Unmishan Nimishan Api Naiva Kinch Karatumika Naiva Kinchit Karomati Ipto Manyeta Tattvait. So for the Tattvagnani, Naiva Kinchit Karomati, he will not do anything even though he appears to be doing. He appears to be doing. So for whom it appears to be doing? For us. For those who see Gnani, for them it appears to be doing, but for him, Naiva Kinchit Karomit, he will not do anything. So that's why the term Badita is being used. That is because one should not think that when Gnana happens, he will become stagnant. He will not move because Atman is immovable. He will not move. That means to say his life will not continue. His life will continue as usual, but he will not get tainted to the objects. That is because that is not there for him, but he will continue the daily activities as usual. He will eat, he will drink, he will do everything. But for him, how he looks the world is sublated world, Vadita, appearing world, that we saw in the last class. So just to summarize what we saw in the last class till now, and then so we have to look into the page number 40, right? Page number 40, where it says difference between intellectual experience and intuitional experience. This also we saw some part, but we have to continue with that. So Shiva, can you read and tell whatever has been explained till now on the
Yes,
difference
yes, sir.
between
Yes.
intellectual and yeah.
सर पूरा पैराग्राफ पढ़ के
Whatever it's as your wish. So if you summarize,
हम्म,
or you can, even if you read, that is also fine.
okay, okay. Now we have to understand as to what is the intuitional experience, because to cognize or to take a stand in the witnessing principle of life, the intuitional experience Sakshi Anubhav is the only means and not intellectual process of thinking Pramatru Anubhav. So in Vedanta, when we say discrimination of vichar, etc. It is not thinking process of the intellect as being an ego, but the introvert process of relying on the intuitional experience. सर ये यहाँ पे ये बताया जा रहा है कि हम लोग बेसिकली सोच के उस नॉलेज तक नहीं पहुंचते हैं, मतलब हम क्योंकि माइंड जब नहीं रहता है हमारे ड्रीमिंग स्टेज में या डीप स्लीप स्टेज में, हम उसी एक्सपीरियंस को फिर से रिमाइंड करते हैं और हमें पता चलता है कि वहां पे मतलब प्रेजेंस थी, कॉन्शियसनेस की या
ऐसे
अवेयरनेस।
नहीं है, पहले
हम्म।
इंटेलेक्चुअल एक्सपीरियंस क्या होता है वो
ओ
बताना है।
मतलब इंटेलेक्चुअल सर मतलब थिंकिंग या सोच
हम्म,
के सोच के समझने की जो कोशिश
सोच के
करते हैं या फिर
समझने की, जैसे
हम्म
हमारा वर्ल्ड में सो
माइंड
व्हाटएवर
से
सो
माइंड से जो
हाँ,
समझने की कोशिश करते हैं ईगो से।
समझने से ही सारा
हम्म,
व्यवहार चलता है ना।
हाँ हाँ।
सो समझता है, माइंड से समझता है।
माइंड से।
वो
यस।
सभी स्टडीज जो है, सो जो वेस्टर्न स्टडीज, इंडियन स्टडीज और व्हाटएवर,
हम्म
दो ऑल द स्टडीज विल बी ए intellectual process. Okay,
हम्म
so now what is the intuitional process? So in Vedanta, when we say discrimination
हम्म
of vichara, so what does it mean? Hmm.
सर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ऑफ विचारा मीन्स कि हमें डिस्क्रिमिनेट करना आता हो द रियल एंड द अनरियल के बीच में, जो नित्य और अनित्य के बीच में जो डिफरेंस बताना आता हो, लेकिन वो बताने के लिए हम कभी भी इस विचार का या इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रोसेस का साथ वो नहीं लेते हैं, यूज नहीं करते हैं। हम साक्षी अनुभव जो हमारे खुद के एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं डेली लाइफ के, उसका
Hmm.
यूज करके हम उसको एक्सप्लेन करते हैं, जिसमें हम खुद ही उन स्टेजेस में एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं जहाँ पे माइंड भी नहीं रहता है। मतलब हाँ, इतना ही मुझे समझ में आया था।
वो क्या माइंड में नहीं रहता है, मतलब क्या है ये ये बताए। इट्स एन इंट्रोवर्ट प्रोसेस।
ओके ओके ये
हाँ, सो डिफरेंस क्या तो है उसमें, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रोसेस क्या है, सो इंट्यूशनल प्रोसेस क्या होता है।
सर इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रोसेस में हम जैसे
सो माइंड, सो
इंट्यूशनल
बाहर का विचार को के बारे में इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रोसेस होता है ना।
ऑब्जेक्टिवली, हाँ ऑब्जेक्ट के बारे में जब हम सोचते हैं तो हम इंटेलेक्चुअली
बाहर
सोच
का
रहे हो।
विचार,
यस
हमसे
यस।
बाहर का जो वस्तु जो है उसका
हम्म।
विचार होता है इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रोसेस में। ठीक है।
एक्सटर्नल यस।
हाँ, सो इवन दो इफ यू थिंक ऑफ आवर सेल्फ, आवर बॉडी
हम्म
माइंड, सो
हम्म।
दैट इज ऑल्सो ये बाहर का थिंकिंग ये है, क्योंकि
यस यस
हमारा बाहर है, हमारा शरीर जो है हमारा बाहर है।
यस
द
यस यस
ईगो इट इज it is in front of ego,
यस
our
यस।
body. So that's why that is all outward process. So what is
हम्म
the intuitional process? Intuitional experience, intuitional experience में
हम्म।
कैसा प्रोसेस होता है?
सर जब हम अपना अम, खुद
इंट्रोवर्ट
के,
प्रोसेस।
यस
इंट्रोवर्ट।
इंट्रोवर्ट तो होता है, इंटरनल
हम्म,
होता है, एंड जब हम अपने खुद
हम्म,
के एक्सपीरियंसेस को रिमाइंड करते हैं इन द वेकिंग स्टेट,
हाँ।
तो हमें वही
मतलब क्या होता है,
डिस्क्रिप
ये माइंड
हम्म
जो है, ये
हम्म,
माइंड का भी सबस्ट्रेटम है वो।
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
तो उसको समझने के लिए ये
हम्म
इंटेलेक्ट प्रोसेस यूज नहीं कर सकता हम।
या यस यस, क्योंकि वो उसके भी पहले आता है।
हाँ,
जी।
so that is not useful because
हम्म
we are investigating the root of the
हम्म
intellect and the source of the intellect.
हम्म।
So when we are thinking about the source, it can't be known by the object of the source.
यस।
So it is there is an introvert process. So
हम्म।
that's why what Shankaracharya says in Gita Bhashya,
The mind that is purified by the instructions of the scriptures and the teacher, and control of body and sense organs, etc., becomes the instrument for realizing the self.
oh,
जो
that's why. So here instrument, so instrument क्या होता है, मतलब ओ Even though it is an intuitional process, उसको समझने के लिए कुछ ना कुछ चाहिए ना. So किससे, किस, so using which instrument, so we have to
Hmm.
know this. Even though it can't be known by the instrument, at
Hmm.
least, so we have to start the process now. What is the means of that? So for that he says this one. So the mean,
Discriminating process.
हाँ हाँ, so या क्या क्या इंस्ट्रूमेंट चाहिए इसका?
Mind, purified mind.
Purified mind. That's why in the Sanskrit Bhashya, so he
Hmm.
says the Shastracharyopadesha Shamadamadi Sadhana Sampatti
Hmm.
Atmadarshane Karanam.
य-
Atmadarshane Karanam. Karanam means what? The instrument of knowing the Atma.
यही
So
यही
one should
चित्त शुद्धि है क्या सर?
Chitta Shuddhi. Matlab, when he says that instrument, so one should not think that there is an instrument to know the self. No,
Hmm.
nothing.
Hmm.
So that's why to understand the teachings of Acharya also, it has to be known by the proper teaching. Guru parampara से ही इसका समझना समझना चाहिए. So just because we can't judge that Acharya anyway has told it is an instrument, it is not an instrument. But the thing is, the purified mind along with the Shastracharya Upadesha.
Hmm.
Okay. So I explain it a bit. So already I have explained in the YouTube. So
Hmm.
what is the Shastra Choropadesha and what is Shamadhamaya Sampatti?
शास्त्राचार्य उपदेश
Because
and
if I tell the same thing, whatever I told in normal class, it will not become study circle. That's why if at all, if two persons like Smriti is there, that would be good to have a study circle. I
hmm.
don't know why she has not joined. Anyway, tell.
शास्त्राचार्य उपदेश.
So मतलब क्या होता है ये
Hmm.
इंस्ट्रूमेंट, मतलब ये इंस्ट्रूमेंट है. सो
Hmm.
शमदमादि साधन संपत्ति क्यों चाहिए और शास्त्राचार्य उपदेश क्यों चाहिए इसके लिए?
माइंड प्योरीफाई करने के लिए.
हाँ, दैट्स व्हाई माइंड प्यूरिफिकेशन.
Hmm.
दैट माइंड प्यूरिफाई करने के लिए वो पता है क्यों चाहिए माइंड प्यूरिफिकेशन, और आचार्य उपदेश भी क्यों चाहिए.
सर क्योंकि जब तक हमारा जो वासना या वृत्ति जब तक नहीं खत्म होती है तब तक हम लोग
नो
मतलब
नो,
अ,
वृत्ति खत्म नहीं
हम्म.
होना चाहिए. वृत्ति
हम्म.
रहना चाहिए.
हम्म.
वृत्ति खत्म मतलब क्या होता है? चित्तवृत्ति निरोध होता है पातंजलि
हम्म.
योग का. वो निवृत्ति
ओके.
नहीं है,
हम्म.
वृत्ति होना चाहिए.
ओके ओके.
Why then? Where is the necessity of purification of the mind? Why? So to know the self,
हम्म.
शमदमानी संपत क्यों चाहिए? शास्त्र और उपदेश शमदमानी संपत क्यों चाहिए?
सर ऐसे हिंदी सॉरी संस्कृत टर्म्स में थोड़ा मुश्किल हो रहा है समझना.
तो कौन सा संस्कृत term? शमदमानी संपत. शमदमानी
यस
संपत
यस.
मतलब वही साधना. शमादमा, so अंतःकरण का निग्रह करना, इंद्रियों का निग्रह करना. वो
हम्म.
उसका जरूरत क्या होता है
सर
आत्मदर्शन?
वो भी डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग प्रोसेस का ही पार्ट रहता है. वेदना प्रत्यय वेदना और अम, दूसरा भी था एक वेदना अनुभव मतलब एक
ठीक है.
इनर.
ये इंटेलेक्ट प्रोसेस जैसा
हम्म.
आत्म को, फ्रॉम द स्क्रिप्चर्स वी कैन, व्हाई कांट वी अंडरस्टैंड द सेल्फ, व्हाई कांट वी रियलाइज द सेल्फ? So we just without doing any sadhana, why the sadhana is required then? So without doing sadhana also we can understand the scriptures. So why can't we take its standpoint in the self?
ಅನಾತ್ಮ
सर भी
ಬಿಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧನೆ.
ओ ओके आत्मा अनात्मा विवेक. यस.
Atma Anatma Viveka. So how it is an obstacle? Why it is an obstacle? Our normal
सर
samskar.
because we always identify ourselves with the ego or the mind, uh, pramatru basically. So first that reason, and secondly the mind is restless So
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
yes,
Continue.
restless mind is not considered fit for knowledge of
Correct. So
self.
restless mind, so those mind which
Yes.
is not stable,
Mm-hmm.
so it can't ready. It will not be ready
Mm-hmm.
for the process of introvert. The
Mm-hmm.
process of this atmagnana, it will not be ready. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why Bhagavan in 16th chapter says Gnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. When he says Daiva Sampat, Abhayam Satvasam Shuddhi, he will say Gnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. That means what? Our chitta, our mind should be ready for Gnana. When you say ready for Gnana, it has
Mm-hmm.
to be conditioned by sadhanas like Karma Yoga, Upasana, etc. When it is conditioned by those sadhanas, so that
Mm-hmm.
is daivi sampat. When there is an asuri sampat, so asuri sampat like kama krodha rosha droha moha, those all asuri sampat if we have, even though after the teaching from the guru or the scriptures, we
Mm-hmm.
can't understand, we can't, because it will not move inward. The
Mm-hmm.
habit of going outward will continue when you have got that kind of mind. So there is no question of going inside. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the reason that sadhana is required along with the acharya bodhana. So when
Which
acharya
are
bodhana,
and yes.
uh, acharya bodhana, if you want to understand the acharya bodhana, you should have proper samskara, and then proper without proper acharya bodhana, it is not possible to realize the self, because uh, as we know there is many kind of teaching through proper acharya. If you learn the scriptures, the bodha of acharya will be in line with the shruti or scriptures. But the thing is, acharya will know the status of shishya. Accordingly he will teach based on the shruti or smriti. Even though he puts his thoughts will be in line with the shastra. That is the thing. Okay, next, you continue reading.
Yes, sir. Sir, after
Continue.
the birth, na?
So
Af-
continue. 41st page.
Okay. So at first, the aspirant should discriminate the intuitional experience from the intellectual process of thinking. The discrimination process is given below. How do we know that there is me notion? How do we know that I dreamt or I slept happily? How do we know that I am awake now? Commonly, all are puzzled and think that they know these things through their mind. But strictly speaking, the mind has no capacity to objectify the me notion, because one generally says my mind is wandering here and there, etc. So the mind me notion is the user of the mind. The mind which concerns to the waking state has no capacity to extricate itself from this state and pass on to other states such as dream or deep sleep. Yes. तो यहाँ पे ये चीज मेंशन्ड है कि जो मी नोशन है वो या अहंकार है वो ईगो से भी सॉरी माइंड से भी पहले आता है, जिसकी वजह से माइंड उसे ऑब्जेक्टिफाई नहीं कर सकता है। क्योंकि मैं माइंड चला रहा हूँ तो यहीं पे मैं जो मतलब ईगो है जो ओनर है वो पहले ही मतलब माइंड को भी एक तरीके से पावर कर रहा है, तो वो चीज का यहाँ पे वो एक्सप्लेनेशन है।
Why? I dreamt, I
हम्म।
slept happily. So is
हम्म।
it a message from the mind,
नो
or it
नो
does?
नो 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 नो
That,
नो।
so that's why he is telling, as one has to know, so
हम्म।
where these messages are coming from. I dreamt, I slept happily, because it is a daily experience of us. So
inner
that,
inner
hmm. So even the I am awake now.
hmm,
I am awake now. That message has not come from mind.
hmm,
So even though in the empirical world we say that everything should happen by the thinking process of the mind. So see, all any other activity can't continue without the process of mind. When mind is not there, everything will get switched off. So there is no
hmm,
vyavahara at all, right?
hmm,
So when you are in a coma, that means mind will not work. You can't do any vyavahara. That is correct, right?
hmm.
But the thing is, so when you say I am awake,
Yes, sir.
have we told from the mind? So
No, no, no.
because why?
Because sir, the mind has मतलब वही no power to go
Hmm.
मतलब
So
other
the
state
waking
in
state,
any
when you say
present.
I'm awake, the waking state, the mind will come within the waking state, right?
Yes, yes, only.
Ah. So when you are saying I'm awake, so that
Hmm,
awake, the thing, the awakening is the waking state. That is our mind is inside the waking state.
hmm,
So though that one which is inside the waking state it doesn't have capacity to say that I am in a waking state. So
hmm,
that's why we are taking a standpoint in the self. There is no other means. Inevitably, we will take a standpoint in the self. Then we will say that I am awake. I dreamt. I slept happily. Those kind of messages have not come from the intellect. Okay.
hmm.
Then
Uh, Suppose the waking mind really goes to the dream, then it would have said that I have come here temporarily from the waking state, etc. Just as a man says when he travels temporarily to other places from where he originally belongs to. But in our experience, we do not find such a happening in the dream state. And in deep sleep, there is no trace of mind at all. This is in the experience of all. If it is there, it would not be called as deep sleep. सर यहाँ पे ये एक्सप्लेन किया जा
so
रहा है कि
I told one story when I explained this. Can you tell that story?
अ,
Radha and
हाँ हाँ
Prabhuji.
यस सर वो साक्षी वाला ही वो या शायद एक तो साक्षी वाला था और एक वो अ, उद्दालका वाली
वो नहीं दुप्तकार के बाला की और अजात शत्रु.
ओ अजात शत्रु वाली
Hmm.
नहीं सर वो वाली नहीं
Okay.
याद है
So okay, if you won't remember, then it's fine. You just explain what has been told over here.
तो यहाँ पे ये एक्सप्लेन किया गया है कि जैसे वेकिंग स्टेट में जो माइंड है वो अगर ड्रीम स्टेट में भी प्रेजेंट होता तो हम इस चीज़ से अवेयर होते कि हम यहाँ पे टेम्परेरीली आए हैं और उसके बाद हमारा फिर से वेकिंग स्टेट में वो हो जाएगा मतलब फॉर द टाइम बीइंग हम ड्रीम स्टेट में हैं और डीप स्लीप में तो माइंड रहता ही नहीं है वैसे भी अ,
Mind, but yeah, no. I have come here temporarily from the waking state. Suppose the waking mind really goes. So you explain in line with what is mentioned over here.
हम्म फिर यहाँ पे मतलब सपोज द वेकिंग माइंड रियली गोज टू द ड्रीम देन इट वुड हैव सेड दैट आई हैव कम हियर टेम्परेली फ्रॉम द
Hmm.
वेकिंग स्टेट मतलब वो सर अवेयर होता है उस चीज़ का कि पहले वो कहाँ पे था एंड देन अभी
Hmm.
हम कहाँ पे बट हम नहीं होते हैं अवेयर तो हमें
So
पता है कि
just like
ये
so give an example. Just like so when you travel from Lucknow to say some Mumbai,
यस
so you will know that I have traveled from Lucknow. Now I am in
यस
Mumbai.
यस
So I may have to go back again to the Lucknow.
हम्म
So just like is it happening in the dream? So you will you say in the
यस
dream up to the dream. So I have come from the waking state. That is actually the real state.
यस
So
यस
now I have come here, come temporarily, and then I will go to the waking state. Will it happen like that?
नो सर क्योंकि वेकिंग स्टेट का माइंड नहीं होता है और हम
Hmm.
खुद को मतलब हम अवेयर नहीं होते हैं उस चीज़ से कि हम कहाँ
Okay.
से वो चीज़ मतलब वो, बट हाँ, वेकिंग में हम जानते हैं क्योंकि हमारा इंट्यूशनल एक्सपीरियंस वो होता है।
एंड डीप स्लीप स्टेट में क्या होता है, ऐसे ऐसे एग्जांपल में?
सर डीप स्लीप स्टेट में तो कोई भी माइंड नहीं, कोई भी थॉट भी नहीं, माइंड भी नहीं
हम्म,
होता है, तो वहाँ पे ये थॉट भी नहीं होता है कि हम डीप स्लीप में हैं या सो रहे हैं, क्योंकि अगर वो
हाँ
थॉट
तब।
भी वहाँ पे रहेगा तो हम
हम्म,
सो नहीं, मतलब काइंड ऑफ डीप स्लीप में नहीं है।
हम्म। So now the next sentence. So the presence of absence, that
So
is
the
important.
presence or the absence of the mind is understood through one's own nature of witnessing principle of life, and it is expressed through the mind and the intellect taking the grab of me notion. Uh, due to this deep discrimination, all wrongly think that we know everything through mind or intellect. Hence, through the teaching of the Guru and the Shastra, we have to discriminate the intuitional experience, bodhich pratyaya, from the intellectual process of thinking, bodh pratyaya. Uh, so the presence of the or the absence of the mind is understood. Uh, Basically, हम खुद से ही अपने ही बैकवर्ड एक्सपीरियंसेस या डेली एक्सपीरियंसेस को रिमाइंड करके ये इस चीज़ से जान पाते हैं कि माइंड से हम सब कुछ नहीं जानते, एंड माइंड भी डिसअपियर होता है। मतलब हर एक स्टेट में माइंड का प्रेजेंस नहीं रहता है, लाइक डीप स्लीप स्टेट एंड ड्रीम, ड्रीम में वेकिंग माइंड का नहीं रहता है। द माइंड एंड द इंटेलेक्ट टेकिंग द ग्रैब ऑफ मीनो ड्यू टू द lack of this deep discrimination.
द दर्शन वृत्ति एंड आदर्शन वृत्ति। ये दर्शन वृत्ति क्या होता है, आदर्शन वृत्ति क्या होता है?
दर्शन,
दर्शन
सर ये
वृत्ति
आप
मतलब
शरा
है
अक्षरा
वो।
वाला पूछ रहे हैं
हाँ
क्या? ये आप शरा अक्षरा वाला पूछ रहे हैं क्या?
हाँ,
शरा,
वही वही, हाँ, अक्षरा अक्षरा व्यक्ता अव्यक्ता।
ओके
सो
ओके।
उसमें दर्शन वृत्ति क्या होता है, आदर्शन वृत्ति क्या होता है?
ಎಚ್ಚರ
सर
ಕನಸು ಎಚ್ಚರ
हम्म
ಕನಸು ಎರಡು ದರ್ಶನ ವೃತ್ತಿ, ಗಾಢ ನಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ್ಶನ ವೃತ್ತಿ.
हम्म। शिवांश?
सर मैं ये
वही
वाले टर्म से ज़्यादा वो नहीं, क्लियर नहीं हूँ, मतलब
वही
शरा अक्षरा
वो
वाला
जो
तो पता है।
अपीयर होता है, वो जो
हाँ हाँ,
अपीयर होता है वो सभी दर्शन वृत्ति होता है। वो डिसअपियर
ओके।
ये जो होता है वो आदर्शन वृत्ति।
अदर्शन वृत्ति होता, ओके
तो
ओके।
इसमें जो who is cognizing, who is witnessing the both the darshana and adarshana vrutti, the
द
appearing world and the disappearing world.
द मी नोशन।
So the me notion doesn't have capacity. So who is cognizing both? That's Sakshi alone.
यस।
But normal thinking, we say that we immediately come to the judgment that our mind itself saw the dream. माइंड, सो दैट पंडित लोग ये भी कहता कि डीप स्लीप स्टेट में भी माइंड था। वो पंडित लोग का जजमेंट है, बट वो गलत है। पंडित मतलब क्या है? जस्ट who, so even though they study shastra, they have not studied properly with proper guru. For that reason they come to the judgment that deep sleep also the mind was working. For that reason only we will say there is nothing. So it is illogical and against shastra and against everything, against
यस
our universal experience also. So that's
यस
why,
यस यस।
so we have to, it is not, yeah, see this study circle today it happened, and we should not forget that. So whatever we learnt over here, that is thing, this is required to do the chintan manan of this. So we have to first, because from shastra alone we came to know about this, even though it is in our own experience.
यस।
Nothing is beyond our experience, it is all in our experience only. So we are not saying anything which is not in our experience, like that chakra, nadi. So even though they might be real, so we are not
समाधि एंड ऑल।
saying about samadhi or any other paraloka. That those things
यस।
are all we are not telling. So it is in our experience only, but we have not thought about the thing which is objectifying the both darshana vritti and adarshana vritti,
Hmm.
even though it is our own experience, we are not thought about it. So
Hmm.
that's why this is a time to think about it and to do the vichara.
Hmm.
That is most important thing. So daily we have to do that vichara.
Hmm.
We are doing the vichara of the thing which is not required at all.
Hmm.
But we are thinking that it is very much required.
Hmm.
Okay, it might be required for to extent, to what extent? So whatever we think, are we implementing that? Many thoughts will come on our mind daily.
Yes.
Whatever thoughts comes in our mind, if you calculate the percentage of the one which is useful thought in our vyavahar, I'm not telling about the Vedanta Shastra, just
Hmm.
for our vyavaharik, the daily activities, how much thoughts are useful. In a day, we might have thought 100%, and in
Hmm.
out of the 100% thoughts, how much thoughts are useful for the daily activities. If you calculate that, it might be just some like less than
1%.
0.5%.
Okay. Yes.
Hmm. So that's why instead of doing all those kind of nonsense vichara, we have to
Hmm.
do this kind of vichara, which is very much useful and it will build a samskara in us.
Hmm.
The more you do the vichara, the
Hmm.
more you go with the shastra, go with the acharya, you live with the acharya, you
Hmm.
live with our parampara. For from that, your mind slowly start to go inside.
Hmm.
It will not happen in 1 or 2 days. It requires time. When
Hmm.
you when you know that it requires time, we should not think tomorrow, day after, or after some years. You have to start
Hmm.
somewhere or the other. We have to start in midst of all the activities only. You have to start. So we shouldn't think that now I got many responsibilities. So later, after completing all the responsibilities, I will get a time. I'm going to continue. But
Hmm.
who knows that we'll be there till that time also. Even though we may be there at that
Hmm.
time, our mind may not be ready to grasp these things.
Hmm.
So before getting all the bad samskaras, before that itself,
Hmm.
we have to start this process,
Hmm.
and it is not difficult at all. But we have to invest some time. We are here for to do that only, but we are investing time in any other activities. So no
Yes.
one, no, none of the gurus or acharya will say stop all your activities and do this. No, no,
Hmm.
Bhagavan also has not told that.
Hmm.
So because he has told yudhyacha tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara vidyacha. So Tesham, before that, what is the shloka? Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mahamanusmara yudhacha. So that's why you see, karma yoga, how to do everything you told. So everything has come from me only. So whatever is there, the source is me only. The activity is from coming from me only. So that's why tasma sarveshu kaleshu mahamanusmara. All the times you do smarana of me. Yudhyacha, you told. For him, it is Yudhyacha. Yuddha means the war for Arjuna. But for us, it is a Vyavahara. So
Hmm.
if that is the case, he would have told Arjuna to leave the Vyavahara, leave the Yuddha. That is only required for Arjuna. So he has never told to leave the Yuddha. Here also, Bhagavan never told to leave all this. Even though he will tell, but still, Yagnodana Tapa Karma, Natyajam Karamevati will tell. All the Shastriya karma, yagna, dana, tapasu, everything you have to do. And also, yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yadjuhus, dadasi, everything activity you do. यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत् कुरु श्रमदर्पण. You do arpana to me, that's all. You are not your mind. The sannyasa is also there, that is different. But for everyone it is not possible. And in one sense it is not required at all in this Kali Yuga. Because sannyasa dharma is difficult, and also after going to the sannyasa dharma, you should not come back. You have to follow the sannyasa dharma strictly. But if you don't change the dress, still you can continue with the mind, the sannyasa in the mind. That is required over here. Vairagya, that is required over here. It will not happen immediately. No, we can't expect to happen that immediately. If you start, some or the other day it will happen. That too from the भगवान अनुग्रह, भगवान का अनुग्रह से यही होता है. So that's why that is most important. That is a conclusion over here. That is a conclusion. So the one we have to understand properly the intellectual and the intellectual experience and intuitional experience. So intuitional experience is that it is not an imagination. It is the true experience of us, even though it is our true nature experience. So we are not thinking about it. First to start think about it and continue your life accordingly. You have to lead the life according to the Shastra. So that means dharma. You have to follow dharma. When you follow dharma, then only you will get a right samskara. If you have a right samskara, even if this body goes without realization, it will continue. You will get a new body which will be ready to continue the sadhana. At least we have to do that. Okay?
Yes.
So, will you continue or will we see next tomorrow?
Sir, I can continue. No worries.
Continue.
In the above said manner, when we say I dreamt or I slept happily, these experiences are called as intuitional experience in Vedanta. The word intuition, anubhav, has got different meanings according to dictionary, but here in Vedanta, the meaning of this word is tuition, which is bodha or knowledge, which comes from inside to the intellect. So it is called as intuitional experience. To get these experiences, there is no need of any activity, function of the sense organs or the mind. सर यहाँ पे ये बताया जा रहा है कि जो इंट्यूशन है, जो इंट्यूशनल एक्सपीरियंस है, वो हमारी खुद की नॉलेज होती है, क्योंकि वो हमने खुद में हमारे खुद के एक्सपीरियंसेस होते हैं, तो वो हमें डायरेक्टली परसीव करते हैं. हम किसी सेकेंडरी या माइंड या ऐसे किसी
So Anubhava, so yesterday Anubhava has a different meaning, even though the same Anubhava, the word term Anubhava is used over here. So what is the meaning of Anubhava in the Vedanta? So there's a word, that's a Paribhashika Shabda, we told. So what is the meaning of Anubhava over here and what is the meaning of Anubhava in the daily world?
सर साक्षी अनुभव की यहाँ पे बात हो रही है, और डेली वर्ल्ड मतलब कौन सा आपने पूछा था?
मतलब अनुभव. So experience. When you go to the interview, what is the? Tell me about your experience. If they tell, what is that you tell?
Oh, the experiences of the sense organs or the.
No. In the interview, will you tell the experience of sense? That's why.
नहीं,
Generally, I'm telling generally. Don't go in deep. So what generally, if you go to the interview, if they ask you, they mention, tell me about your experience. What will you tell? For them, what is the meaning of experience in that context?
Sir, the worldly, the objective, or
No, whatever. So the experience about your job, right, in the interview.
Yes.
So experience about your job in the past. So you will not tell the experience about your home, personal life.
Yes.
हमारा जो पेरेंट्स है, दादी माँ है, इसका एक्सपीरियंस नहीं बोलता है ना.
नहीं.
वहाँ एक्सपीरियंस मतलब जॉब एक्सपीरियंस.
Yes.
So when you go to the समझो ये ज्योतिष्य ज्योतिष
हम्म
के ज्योतिष when it ask about your experience, that experience might be different because why you have gone to the jyotisha,
हम्म
you will tell that reason.
यस
जॉब के लिए और ये सभी क्या होना चाहिए
हम्म
वो उसके बारे में एक्सप्लेन दैट एक्सपीरियंस इवन दो यू आर यूजिंग द सेम वर्ड एक्सपीरियंस हियर द
हम्म
एक्सपीरियंस वर्ड या यहाँ क्या होता है इसमें.
सर यहाँ पे हम मी प्रत्यय अनुभव की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो मी नोशन है उसकी हम बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो हम इंटरव्यू में भी यूज करते हैं वो मी नोशन का ही एक्सपीरियंस होता है कि पिछली जॉब में या उसके पहले जॉब में क्या था। तो यहाँ पे हम बात कर रहे हैं डायरेक्ट नॉलेज की, जो हमने खुद सामने से क्या मतलब एक्सपीरियंस करी है अपने डेली लाइफ में, डेली रूटीन में। तो उसको हम जब हम रिमाइंड करते हैं अपना वेकिंग स्टेट में या प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में, तो हमें ये नॉलेज मिलती है अबाउट द सेल्फ, द आत्मा।
Atmagnan itself is an
ये
Anubhava in the Vedantic term. The
ओ
word Anubhava is used for the Atmagnana alone.
हम्म
So this is told only in the Shankara Vedanta, the two in that Valayarshipura school only. Now, any
हम्म
other Shankar Mata also, if they say experience, they will tell about yogic experience, other experience, either this experience, that
हम्म सर वीडियो पॉज हो गया।